My next guest has got a huge fight coming up here against Lauren Murphy at UFC 254 on October 24th. It is Cynthia Calvillo back here on the program. Cynthia, how's it going?
Hi, it's going great. Enjoying my camp. I'm out here in Las Vegas, so it's going good.
Yeah, let's start with that. What made you decide to train in Vegas for this camp as opposed to California?
I would say the COVID restrictions is a big deal. And then also I've always had injuries that I've had to deal with for a very long time. So I've always needed that maintenance. And with the restrictions in California, they're barely kind of opening it up. So the PI has been a ton of help with my nutrition, with, having my physical therapy here. And the gyms are open like normal here, and so it's a little bit more difficult back at home where you just kind of, maybe, and then there's a possibility of getting shutting down. And so here it's been great. Everything's been working perfectly. You just got to walk around with your mask like when you go in and out of places, but everything's open. So it's definitely working out better right now.
And I'm sure your manager facilitated a little bit of that just because he's from Vegas. He knows all the gyms and stuff. Or did you know some people there and just were like, hey, can I come train?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, obviously it did help a lot that my manager lives here in Las Vegas, so he's, knows a lot of people. But there's also a lot of people that I used to train with at Team Alpha Male that are training over here, and they use some of the same people. So we all kind of know some of the same people. So, Joseph Benavidez out here, Lance Palmer, a lot of old Team Alpha Male guys. So I was able to reconnect with a lot of them. And then obviously they stylistically too, they have a lot of coaches with the same style. So I was able to get in there and, have a smooth transition.
I know you're really close with your mom. Has it been difficult being away from her for this camp?
It has been. But my main concern too, when I was there at the house with them, is man, if I go train and I'm around a bunch of people, I'm what if I bring the virus in the house,
Good point.
And so I was concerned with that. Of course, I want to be around them, and so then now I've felt a little bit better about being out here and not doing that, to them. And they're still it's an hour away flight, and so, but then my parents ended up getting COVID after I left.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, and I was just God dang it. And it was because, my dad's older, he's 75, and we're really worried about him because he's got a lot of underlying issues. But my mom would just not stop going to Costco,
I can relate to that. I love Costco too, but listen, the virus is bigger than that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's we're going to, no way, one way or another, we're all going to touch it. But it's just a matter of whether you're going to be having a strong immune system to be able to fight it. Yeah. So luckily for us, my parents were actually okay. They got through it. They're fine now. Mm-hmm. She does miss me. I think she misses my dog more because she's when are you going to bring the dog? And I was
right.
She's I was waiting for you to come. And I was and then I told her I'm extending my time out here. I'm going to end up doing the rest of my fight camp here.
Excellent.
But she's can you bring the dog back at least? Because I miss him. I need him here. So I'm probably going to go drop him off with her before I leave for Abu Dhabi, obviously. So
okay.
I'll make a quick trip out there.
Where are you staying in Vegas? Are you just renting a place, or how you getting through this camp?
Yeah, I got an Airbnb, so it's been
Nice.
A ton of help. I drove out here from the Bay Area. I brought my truck, my paddleboard, and my dog, and we just rented an Airbnb house. And it's perfect because I get to have some of my training, my coaches from back home, and some teammates come and stay with me, and so it's really neat. It definitely helps out a lot.
Let's talk quickly about your last fight. What a win that was. Up a weight class, fighting the number 2 flyweight, and you just absolutely dominated the fight. I know you were happy with your performance. I'm sure you would have liked the finish, but still a dominant win. But I actually wanted to ask you, how did you feel in there competing at flyweight first fight up?
I felt great. I mean, obviously it wasn't a full camp. I don't think it was the best Cynthia, and I don't think it was the best Jessica either at that time, given what we had available to us.
Right.
Especially doing a 5-round fight in 2 weeks notice, it's what the hell, so for me, it was such a help because I didn't have to deal with the depletion of having that crazy weight cut and to get ready for a 5-round fight. It was amazing to be able to eat good throughout the whole thing. And literally I probably took a calming bath and I made weight. I have never had to just do that, and so it feels great. I can eat. I feel so strong. It's great. So definitely got to show that. I think this one's definitely going to be a real test too, because I know people are probably well, there's a lot of issues going into that fight. Maybe this is going to be the real tough test.
Nah,
Cynthia
you look good in that fight. I mean, come on, people got to give you some props there because you were an underdog in that fight too, and you ended up really surprising a lot of people. So
yeah, I think by the third round I was minus 600. So
there you go.
Yeah.
People knew what's up.
Yeah, after that. So I'm kind of excited, man. I feel like I'm a little bit of a slightly a bit of a dark horse. I think anybody that comes into the flyweight division, because we have such a dominant champion. But I just really feel like stylistically, man, I got it in the bag to give her. If anybody's going to give the champ trouble, it's going to be me. Like, I got the grappling, I got the wrestling, my striking is getting better, and, you know, the footwork, and so I'm stoked. I'm not looking past Lauren, but I'm just really excited at you know, what I was able to accomplish by beating Jessica I and what position I'm at right now.
No, totally hear what you're saying there. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, you used to train with Valentina, or at least, I don't know if you did when you were down in Thailand. Did you ever get to work with her?
No, she was actually not there during the times I was there, so we would kind of like miss each other. I do see her and her sister here at the PI all the time, you know? So that's pretty cool, you know. Yeah. But no, I've never really actually trained with them. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Just wanted to clear that up. But this fight, it seemed like you had a lot of notice for this one, unlike the last fight, because it seemed like they announced it not that long ago, and this fight's not till the 24th. When did you put pen to paper, and has this been the right amount of time for you?
Yeah. Well, I had some injuries, you know, that I needed to take care of that I'm still working with, but I'm a lot better. I'm in the perfect place. You know, the PI is a ton of help, but that's the reason why we had the date in October, which is I'm happy with, because the Khabib card obviously is amazing. Mm-hmm. You know, not everybody wants to like fly hecka far, but you know, some of these fight cards, you know, the opportunity you cannot pass by, you know, and yeah, so it just played out at that time. I know Lauren was asking for me. Caitlin Chikagian was asking me for it. Yeah. And, you know, it ultimately came down to that Lauren was going to be the fight that we wanted. And, yeah, so that was it. I like it because I always have people that want to fight me. So it's awesome. I'm not going to run out of fights ever.
No, it's never a bad thing, right? And it's good to, and I think too, like you said, with that fight, I think that put you on the map, just with this, you know, where Jessica was ranked in that fight. So I think, of course, you're going to have a target on your back when you get a big win like that, which is awesome. Now, stylistically, how do you look at this matchup with Lauren Murphy? Because Lauren's pretty good everywhere. She's really evolved in her career, you know, since earlier, you know, before she was on Ultimate Fighter, and then obviously going on Tough. We've seen a lot of improvements since then.
Yeah, I definitely think she's gotten a lot better. I think she has certain strengths, which in reality her biggest strength is her strength. In my opinion, you know, she's got broad shoulders. She's upper body, more strength in my opinion. She's got a long reach. She's tough. She's going to be really tough, you know. But I think I'm going to be faster than her. I'm going to have better footwork. I'm going to be able to out-scramble her, and I'm definitely going to be able to out-wrestle her. If anything, honestly, I think she's just going to try to hold me. Okay. She's not going to feel comfortable anywhere else. Her best bet is to try to hold me up against the fence, and, you know, good luck with that. So, you know, nothing against Lauren. She's a vet. She has a ton of experience, but I'm just a different person. Like, I don't think she's going to have that easy of a job that she might assume she's going to have because she's strong, but no problem. The more stronger I actually better for my advantage, because limber girls are harder to control sometimes, you know?
Right. No, I understand. Do you think she won that fight at UFC 247 against Andrea Lee? Because some people felt like the judging was off as a whole on that night.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, for sure. Could have gone either way. Andrea has some really good striking. I definitely do feel like that's where, you know, she was better. But it's really hard, man. It's really hard with these judges. You never know what they're seeing, you know, watching it from the outside on TV versus watching up close, you know. That's why I am not opposed to open scoring, because then that would definitely clear all that out for everyone. Yeah. And, you know, so yeah, it's a tough one. You know, she's definitely had a lot of splits, a lot of, you know, you look at her record and then she's got like no submissions, but she's got like 8 TKOs, and like the rest of them are decisions. But all her like main TKOs were like earlier in her career against I don't know who, you know. Mm-hmm. And then now you get up to the higher levels. She's got some like decision wins, and then, you know, some of them are won by, you know, I think she fought Nico. Nico got her knee was injured, so they stopped the fight. You know, so it's a lot of things. She's very durable. She's tough, you know, and that's what she has. I'm excited to figure out the puzzle, as I'm sure she is trying to figure my puzzle out too, because I've never been finished. She's never been finished. So I think this is for me to really go out there and show something, you know. I'm excited about this fight so much. I cannot wait. I
can tell. I can feel it through the camera here. That's and I don't blame you. It's a huge matchup with a lot of implications, and we'll talk about that sort of later here. But you talked a little bit about training camp, you know, working with some old familiar faces from Team Alpha Male. Who are some of your main partners, though, or does it really switch up a lot being at the PI? Because there's a lot of fighters there.
There's a bunch of fighters, but Gustavo
Lopez. I know that guy quite well. Yeah.
Yeah, he just got in, into the UFC. He's an amazing, athlete, and he's been at this game for years. And so he helps me out a lot. We have some wrestlers out here that help me. My homie Pooney, he helps out a lot of the fighters over here. People don't know about him right now, but they're gonna find out soon.
Good stuff.
He's got some hands. He's like a mini Bless Holloway. He doesn't like it when we say that because he said he's better looking, but man, there's just a ton of people. I've even had to like move around with like Claudia. We don't spar, which is interesting because we were supposed to fight last year, but now we're in different weight classes.
Right.
But training at Extreme, we're going to run into each other. So there's a lot of training partners out here that I get to drill with that are high level. So, man, too many to mention, honestly.
The weight cut, now I know 125, a lot easier than 115, but you got the travel time going to Abu Dhabi. Do you have to alter that a little bit just because of the long plane ride to Abu Dhabi?
No, see, that's the great part about it. Like, it's like when I remember I had to travel to Scotland.
That's right.
And I flew out there a week out, and dude, they lost our luggage. Some things I couldn't understand. I didn't know where to go, and like I literally barely made weight. JoJo ended up missing weight, and she's from there, but I barely. And then I just remember having to deal with like my swollen legs, the travel time, and when we got there, the hotel, the sauna wasn't working, the hot tub wasn't working. So we're just like a bunch of little factors that like can go out of your control that can really fuck it up. Excuse my language.
No, you can swear. I'm Canadian, but it's fine. It's all
good. So being at flyweight, dude, you can throw a bunch of monkey wrenches in there. I'm still going to make that weight.
Right. I figured as much. Just figured I'd ask. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great. And, hopefully everybody later on would follow my steps. I know before I was a little stubborn about it because I just really like that strawweight division. It's so competitive. I think it's still the best female division just because of the competitiveness of how deep it is. But I'm older. I'm in my 30s. Some of the fighters, they know that. Even you'll see NBA players, though, like they change things up, their diet and make sure you don't want to deplete yourself. Like we work so hard, then we're gonna do this to our body. Like it messes us up a lot. So I'm happy. I feel healthier. My insides feel better. I don't have to do these harsh weight cuts. So it's been amazing, and I hope everybody else starts doing it too.
Who's gonna be in your corner for this fight?
For this corner, I'm going to have my jiu-jitsu coach from AKA, Ron Kessler, and then also Coach Gifford. He works with a bunch of the fighters out here in Las Vegas. He is an amazing striking coach. Like, he just picks you apart, and it's just stylistically fits perfectly with me. He's worked with Benavidez. His first champion was Forrest Griffin, and then Misha Tate. And then hopefully I'll be his third one, Mm-hmm. And then I'll have Mally Martin for my body.
Oh, cool.
She just fought. Yep. She beat Hannah Cyphers, you know. So she'll be in there. So I have a good group going with me to Abu Dhabi.
What's the connection to Mallory? Because she trained a bit at AKA?
Yeah, her boyfriend is Duran Nguyen.
Yeah.
And then she happened to be at Thailand for a very long time. She
knows right. Oh, interesting. Okay.
So it's like we all know a bunch of the same people, and we just like blend together. I love her style.
Oh, Mallory's awesome.
She's just a badass. So I'm like, I'm happy with the amount of people I've learned and like that I got to meet, and like I have a good solid group of people behind me, and they're all from different places because Mallory's in Colorado,
right?
Ron's in San Jose, and Coach Giff is here in Las Vegas. So bringing everyone
together.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look at that. That's great.
Much, yeah.
How do you see the fight unfolding on October 24th?
I'm going to be faster with her. I'm going to frustrate her. I'm going to impose my will. I'm going to find the takedowns. And, I think I'm going to be able to choke her out ground and pound. That's always the game plan all the time, and it's whether they have the good defense for it. Sometimes they do. Jessica, I try to stall a lot, but they got to remember that when I'm on your back and someone's on your back, you can't stall there. The ref's not going to stop it. So you better not hold my hand with two arms because you're just going to lose a whole fucking round, which is what Jessica did. You're better off just creating those openings and giving me what I want. Just give it to me and get out because the ref's not going to stand it up. And chances are that if I'm just there and you're holding my hand, I'm going to rest. So, make sure your game plan's good when you get in there with me.
Do you think a win here will get you a title shot next? Because that's how a lot of people are looking at this with Murphy's winning streak, with your ranking in the division, taking out the number 2 fighter. Is that in your head what you're thinking? Is that the winner of this will fight the winner of Shevchenko and Maia?
Hands down, a no-brainer. I mean, if as long as we're not injured and some crazy superstar doesn't come in out of nowhere that just magically appears like that, which is something crazy that could happen. For example, like Michael Chandler, like what if one of those guys gets like hurt and then he pops in and there you go. That's the only thing I can think of. But other than that, no, I'm next in line. I don't see anybody in there right now, especially if I'm on a winning streak. I don't see anybody in there. I mean, Jessica Andrade just lost her fight. Yeah, she's going to come up and make her debut against the number 1 contender. But that shouldn't automatically give her that shot right away because I fought the number 1 contender. I'm not getting that shot right away.
No, you're entirely right on that. Yeah,
you better get in line because my streak is longer than yours right now.
That's true. Well, and then that brings me to my next question. What did you think of Maia getting the title shot? Because I know it was promised to Calderwood, and Maia won and looked great, coming through on flying colors. Yeah. But then there's an argument that's like, she lost 2 fights ago to Caitlin Chukagian, so why is she getting the shot? So where do you stand on this? I was just curious. Not talking any smack. I was just honestly curious.
Fair enough. Like the division's pretty wide. It's not very deep. It's kind of new, so it's like how many chances you're going to get in there. You can definitely get back up and down. And, she did what she needed to do. JoJo, unfortunately, put that on the line. That's what happens. You had a title shot. That was yours already in your pocket. And you decided to put it on the line. It's for the taking, and that's what Jennifer Maia, she was able to get lucky, just how I got lucky in the sense that I was able to get that fight. I asked for Jessica. I didn't think I was going to get it. Next thing I get it, and it's in 3 weeks, and 2-3 weeks, let's go, and it's all about seizing the opportunity and doing it. With JoJo, I think she felt she was ready because she was training for a long time. So she's like, I'm taking this fight in 1 week's notice, but it's not really 1 week's notice because I've been in the gym. But still, you know what I mean? It's just it's different, even just mentally preparing yourself for things. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. I'm cool. I was like, I needed to get my feet wet in the flyweight division anyway, so I wasn't going to get mad about that.
We're looking forward to this fight. UFC 254, October 24th. This card is stacked, and this is one of those fights, too, that you can't miss. Cynthia, thanks so much for the time. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any shout-outs or thank yous or anything like that, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hey, guys, thanks for all the love and support. I know it's a hard time, so we're all getting through this. It's getting better and better every day. I definitely want to give a shout out to all my people, back home in San Jose, but especially everybody that's been here in Las Vegas. Coach Casey at 10th Planet, at Extreme with Eddie, Baracco, and Eric. Great guys, and, my coach Giff and Ron Kessler. It's been amazing. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Cynthia.Calvillo. You can find me on Twitter, Cynthia Calvillo, and then also on Facebook, Cynthia Calvillo.